Hello there, welcome or welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today I'm coming to you with a video which is long overdue, but today we are going to be reacting to some 5-star predictions that I made in 2019. 5 years ago, almost to the day, it was in December of 2019, I posted a video with 10 5-star predictions, and finally I have read all the books and we can react and I can let you know if I actually gave those books 5 stars, which hint, I did not. But yeah, I think this one was not particularly successful. There you go. So yeah, I'll link the original video up in the card if you want to go watch it, but keep in mind it was 5 years ago, so I am not as awkward as I was back then, although that's debatable. 5 years ago, I still have the same camera. Maybe I should upgrade my camera, but it's okay. I was in Mexico at the time and I was very tan and I was having the time of my life on my year abroad. And yeah, I chose 10 books which were pretty popular at the time and I thought I was going to give all of them 5 stars. But let's just get into it because I don't have anything else to say. The first book that I thought I was going to rate 5 stars was Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This book was all the rage in 2019. Everyone was reading it and loving it, and I read it this summer. I finally got to it and I really thought I was not going to like it, and I had such a good time with this book. It is basically like a witch and witch hunter romantasy, but it's like young adult but bordering on new adult. Like there is one like spicy scene. So yeah, I would say it's more new adult because the characters are also a bit older as well. And there's like a forced marriage and it's so fun. It's definitely not the best book I've ever read, but I really had a good time with this one. I ended up giving it 4.25. It was like not a new favorite, but I had just such a good time with it. And it's like over 500 pages and I ate this book up in 3 days. And at the time I was working at the library, so I had very long days at work, and still I finished the book in 3 days because I just could not stop reading it. That one not quite a 5-star, but definitely one of my favorite books that I read this year. I would recommend it. The next book on my list was Frankly in Love by David Yoon. Back in 2019, when this came out, everyone was really talking about it and raving about it, and I don't really remember what it was about beyond the fact that it was about a guy called Frank Lee. I think he was dating a girl who his parents didn't approve of and he was trying to hide it, and I don't really remember, but I remember this book being so bad. I really did not like this book. I gave it 1 star. It was really not good at all. And one of the most annoying things was the sense of humor in this book, because the main character was, you know, 17, I think, something like that. But he spoke like a middle-aged dad. I remember he would call his smartphone his fart phone. I was like, that is not funny. Like, I could really picture my 60-year-old father, you know, telling me to get off my fart phone or something like that. Like, it was just so dumb. And the humor was the same throughout. And also, like, I don't really remember the plot being very good. I think there might have even been cheating. Like, I can't really remember, but it was not good. Would not recommend. The next book that I thought I was going to rate 5 stars, I also did not, and that was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I just did not like this book at all, and I don't really understand the hype around it. Almost everyone who reads this book loves it. I just thought it was average. Like, I don't know. It was disappointing because it was so hyped up. This one was really disappointing because I wanted to love it, but I did not, and I gave it 2 stars. The next one was The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Everyone raves about this book. Like, I've heard nothing but amazing things, and everyone loves the writing especially. I had to DNF this book. I tried to read it a couple years ago and it was just not for me at all. I did not like the writing style whatsoever. I think I read about 100 pages and I had no idea what was going on. And I always heard that it was one of those books that you have to just keep going. But I was like, this is 500 pages. Why would I keep going when I'm not enjoying it at this point? I won't. So I DNF'd that one. So definitely not a 5-star. The next one I have is Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo. The reason I put this one on my 5-star predictions was because I read her other book, To Kill Kingdom, and I was like, not really expecting anything from that. I thought it was going to be, you know, fine. The only reason I got it was because I was at a signing where she was and I wanted her to sign a book. So I got the book and then I read it and I was like, oh, that's actually really good. I really loved it when I read it at the time. I don't know how it would hold up now. I still have it because it's signed, but I haven't reread it or anything since. Because of that, I was like, okay, this sounds good. And this is like a heist story because, you know, heist stories have always been all the rage and everyone is going to compare it to Six of Crows and say that Six of Crows is better. I didn't like Six of Crows, but that's fine. But yeah, it's Six of Crows adjacent, and yeah, I didn't really like this one either, unfortunately. I ended up giving that one 2 stars. I tried to read so many times and I kept on putting it down, and I remember it was during the first lockdown in 2020 and I had to get the audio, and I would just go for my, you know, my daily walk that I was allowed and listen to the audiobook, and that was the only way I got through it and it was not good. 2 stars for that. The next one I've got is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This one was okay, although I listened to this on audio and I think maybe this one should have been read physically. Again, this is one that was really popular in 2019, which I think is when it came out, and I thought it was fine. I gave this one 3 stars. I distinctly remember listening to this when I was working at my old job, and I would have to spend the first hour of my shift cleaning, and so I used to just listen to audiobooks all the time when I was doing that. I remember scrubbing down the benches, listening to this, and just being like, you know, it's fine, it's nothing special. I think maybe that was part of the problem, was that I was doing something so boring and unenjoyable at the time that it made me less enthusiastic. But yeah, 3 stars. The next 5-star prediction that I had was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I also read this one in 2020 during lockdown. It was so long ago, oh my god. I want to say this was one of my first forays into adult romance, because I only started reading adult books as my like main audience category back in like 2020 when I was an adult. You know, I feel like that was when I really started to read more adult books and stop reading YA as much. And yeah, this was my first Christina Lauren book, and I also read it during lockdown, and I had a great time with this one. I thought it was fun. I feel like they have become less popular since this book came out. I had a really good time with this one. I would reread it. 4 stars. I realize now, actually looking at this, I didn't give any of these books 5 stars, so I did not do a good job. But it might be because I also made the video in 2019 and then didn't finish reading the books for it until 2024, so maybe that's why. Who knows? The next one is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. I gave this one 4.5 the first time I read it. I've now reread it this year and I gave it 4 stars that time. But this is a really fun middle grade series. I really liked this book. I've now read the sequel as well, and I still have to read the 3rd book. But yeah, it's a good series. It's like the strangeness of Alice in Wonderland mixed with like the school setting of like Harry Potter or like Percy Jackson, like trials, stuff like that. So if you are nostalgic for that sort of vibe and you haven't read Nevermore, what are you doing? Like, you really should. I gave that one 4.5 the first time, and that's the rating we're gonna go for. The next one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I had such a fun time with this book. I read this one when I was on holiday in 2022, so it was quite a while ago now. But I then read all of the rest of the series, and I'm caught up now, still waiting for number 6. And I really liked the series. The original trilogy is set in a school, and it's like solving an unsolved mystery from like 100 years ago. And then as the books go on, like books 4 and 5 have the same like base characters, but then we're solving like different crimes. And yeah, it's fun. It's, you know, unrealistic, but fun. I will definitely continue on. And I gave the first one 4 stars. And the last book that in 2019 I said I was going to rate 5 stars was The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. And the reason I thought I was going to give this one 5 stars is because this one was recommended to me by my mom's partner at the time. I guess he really enjoyed it and he thought I would like it. And I have to say, this so far has been my least favorite book that I've read by Kate Quinn. My favorite is The Rose Code. And I also read her release from this year with Janie Chang, which was The Phoenix Crown. Both of those books I found to be better than The Alice Network. I think that my problem was that it felt not exactly the same, but a little bit similar to The Rose Code. Like, it's a different situation, a different time period, but it felt similar, but not as good as The Rose Code. So I gave that one 3 stars. That was actually a very unsuccessful 5-star predictions video for me. You know, I was young and silly, and now I'm older and I know more of what I like, I guess, except not really, because I've had a terrible reading year, but that's fine. But yeah, those were my 10 5-star predictions from 2019. As you can tell, I did not do a good job. I will be posting a new 5-star predictions video in a couple days, so look out for that. And hopefully those ones will actually be 5 stars, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, that is all that I have for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below. And that is all that I have for this video. So I'll see you very soon with another one. Bye.